Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new park. This is Lands of Exploration, and it's actually a park that I had built in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, and I decided to build it here. Some of these locations aren't exactly final. It's really hard to figure out placements of things because this game is not on a grid system. And Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 is, of course, on a grid system. I've mapped out some of it. I'll probably do a video later on once things are a little bit more progressed, comparing the two, like the two versions of the park, the Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 version and the Planet Coaster one. But for now, I'm just going to show off what I have in their own respective areas. So this over here is going to be the Futuristic Area. But you know, I'm getting ahead of myself. Little backstory. So I was bored one day and I was like, what if three or four of the major theme park companies put all their heads together and built a park together. So this right here is a Disney section with also a Skyrocket 2, so I guess you could say that Bush had their hand right here because they love Skyrocket 2s. But it has a little people mover running through it. This glass right here isn't final. I'm probably actually going to move the glass over here so it's more open. And then over here on top of the station I have this gigantic thing. It is called the Recognizer. It's going to be Tron themed. In my Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 version, I had an Autopia over here, but I think it would be stupid to have an Autopia where the only vehicles that you have are these old-time, like, where is it? Yeah, like an old car. It just doesn't work. Like, I want something like sleek and futuristic, like the Autopia, or at least somewhat modern looking. That's not gonna do it. So obviously this area is not done, and like I said, placement isn't final, but there are some things that I can show off right now. I'd like to point out that I did not build the Skyrocket 2. It's actually a blueprint, and let me see if I can find it. I can find which one I used. I think I used this Tempesto version. Yep, that's the one that I ended up using, and I just changed the colors. And this was made by... Who made this thing? This is made by Rock735, so all credit to them for making that. I didn't do any of the building because I didn't feel like bothering. So I'm going to close this thing so you can go on a little ride on it, and I'm going to switch to night because it actually looks better at night. Alright. Let's do this. So, as you can see, it doesn't do exactly what a Skyrocket 2 does in real life, because even with you being able to have station passes, for whatever reason, it won't work with this. It's annoying, so instead, you have to just build LSMs going up the side, and it just ends up being one complete circuit instead of it shuttling through the station a couple times. But yeah, that's that. I'll go into this once I have more done. Also, I'm not sure how often I'm going to be uploading videos of this, so just be patient. I mean, you guys have been patient for this long, so just stick with it. Over here, though, I've actually done a lot of work. This invert right here is not final. It is something that I built in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, but I don't think that the placement's right, and I just need to mess with it. So we're not going to look at that. Instead, we're going to go over here to Anaconda. It is a B&M, or B&M, so stupid. It is a Intamin Mega Coaster, because that's just what they call everything. It's not a hyper coaster. It's about 170 feet tall, I believe. And the first part of this is pretty much exactly how it was in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, where it had this little, like, steep dive down, steep dive up. This part right here I actually changed to more of an overbank. This part right here is the same. And then right here is where I decide to go in a little bit of a different direction. Previously I had it going this way and doing another lap and then turning around and then coming over here. And then it had a little underground dive into a helix, and then the ride was over. So I pretty much took what was over here and moved it over here and got rid of the underground section. Also, I took this part more diagonal, because, of course, you can't really do diagonals that well in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. And it would have just gone this way and then came back and whatever. But I wanted to kind of break free from that. I think that when things are too rectangular, it just doesn't look as good. So I went with that instead. Also, in RCT2, I wanted to have a little jungle boat ride underneath it, but I couldn't really find a way to get it to work because this area is actually pretty small in RCT2. But here, I was kind of able to make it a little bit more spread out. This map's pretty big. I took it to the limit, and I think that's going to end up helping. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to build the entire park that I have in RCT2, because it just gets a little bit weird. At some point, you can kind of see where my creativity fell off. So I might just stop at a certain point, but we'll see how that goes. And also, I'll do a POV of this in a minute. I've been trying really hard to get it nice and smooth and perfect, and I think it's pretty good. I actually 4-metered quite a bit of it. There's some sections that I might end up going back to just to 4-meter them. So yeah, this is a little jungle boat ride. I used a tree right here to cover up the supports. I thought that was pretty clever of me. I'm not going to do that for all of them. I think there's some areas where just deal with it. There's going to be supports there, but overall I'm going to try and theme it. One of the complications with this ride is that they have animals in this, of course, or a few animal animatronics. One of them is hippos, and this ride is, or this whole area is supposed to be set in like South America. So I don't think that they have hippos in South America. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do for all the theming. I don't want to just have it be like a bunch of trees. That sounds really, really lame. But like I can have snakes. I think I can get away with crocodiles. I think those are a South America thing. Yeah, I can have crocs. And I don't know what else. Scorpion, giant, probably don't want to go that route. I might just end up adding hippos anyways, even though they are not there. And of course, snakes. Everything else, I'm not sure. Maybe there will be some stuff on the Theme Maker's Toolkit at some point. Like maybe someone will make some animatronic animals. That would be really, really helpful. So progress on this ride is probably going to be slow. I have started work over here because I wanted to have a reason why you didn't just go straight. So as you can see at this point, you'll see a crashed plane that has hit a boat, and that one has capsized. And you can see that it hit a tree and the wing broke off and there's smoke and sparks. And then over here there's a flare gun, and that will go off once the boat hits about this area. So then you're like, oh hey, what's going on over there? Let's investigate. So I have a little bit of story going on here, and then you're forced to go through this temple that you're not supposed to go in, but of course you have to go in it. And then in here there's going to be like traps and stuff, and it'll look like you're going to die, but of course you won't die. Then you'll come out here on the other side of the wreckage and you'll see what's left of it. Alright, let's go over here. So in RCT2 I had a scrambler right here, so of course I had to put it back. It doesn't have a name, it's just Hurricane 1. I don't think that I actually named the one in my RCT2 park, so I'll have to get a little bit creative with that. I don't know what to call it. Now let's get to the fun part. Let's go and ride this. And this ride should start going in a couple seconds. That's an exaggeration. It'll be like a few... Let me just speed things up. There we go. Alright, up the cable lift we go. So that right there is Anaconda. It's a kind of... I wouldn't really consider it short. It's not long, but it's a decent length. It packs a bit into it. It's yeah, that's actually pretty long, 160 seconds. That is... Yeah, that's actually a long coaster. I don't know what I'm saying. It's 4,370 feet. Max speed of 69. Heh. Average speed of 30, biggest drop was 153 because, I don't know, I guess it's when it disengages to the bottom. Negative 2.66 G, so that's some ejector airtime, some pretty intense ejector. Max vertical G-force of 5.5, that's either in the helix or on the pullout of the drop. Then 4 G-force, whatever. And it has, quote-unquote, one inversion because of... Whoa, I went way past. Because of this little bit right here, it is overbanked, so it thinks it inverts, even though I don't count it. And an airtime count of 8. Pretty decent stats. I'm really happy with how I translated this over to Planet Coaster. It's not as easy as it seems, because there's a lot of things that you try and do just like RCT and it ends up looking like trash, so yep. Also over here you have Venom Drop, and as you can see I am going to add this this art piece over on the side of it because I don't like the lights. It does cover up a lot of the mechanics of the ride, but I don't care. I'm going for aesthetics with this one. And yeah, it does cover up the wheels and pretty much everything, but I don't care. It's still going to function in the game, so that's all that I care about. So yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. I know it's a bit short, but I just wanted to put something out. So if you're wondering why I haven't done anything in the Knott's Park, it's because my graphics card cannot handle it right now. It's too much. So I've kind of had to just stop going in there altogether because I'll end up getting about 2 FPS. I currently have a 960, but I just ordered a new graphics card that should be here probably tomorrow or Thursday. And I'm excited. I got a 1060 on sale for Black Friday, and it's pretty much triple the speed that I have now, so really excited for that. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.